Hi, this is Therese again, and I'd like to walk you through the WIDA website so you have some familiarity with it. The website is www.wida.us. This is the home page, and I just would like to point out a couple things for you. Here's where you'll enter your username and password that we set up temporarily for you for the duration of this class to access some of the password protected webinars and test materials throughout the course. Also, you can find those materials here from the download library, or also the download library is visible here at all times. Going across the top here, I want to show you in the About Us tab some information about their academic language can-do philosophy. They just recently produced a nice 10-minute video that you can access here, and that explains WIDA's students and teachers and their philosophy. I encourage you to take a moment to watch it at some point. And then here I'd like to share with you WIDA's guiding principles of language development. This is researchers and folks who work in the field of language development who have come together over time to develop these theories and ideas. You can see them cited here, and these are really the cornerstone of WIDA standards and their guiding principles of language development. I want to share them with you today because I think they're really good for our own reflection and also to share perhaps as one-page handout for your fellow teachers and administrators in your districts. Number one, student language and cultures are valuable resources to be tapped and incorporated into schooling. Students' home, school, and community experiences influence their language development. Students draw on their metacognitive, that's thinking about thinking, metalinguistic, thinking about language, and metacultural awareness, thinking about culture, to develop proficiency in additional languages. Students' academic language development in their native language facilitates their academic language development in English, and conversely, students' academic language development in English informs their academic language development in their native language. Students learn language and culture through meaningful use and interaction, and students use language in functional and communicative ways that vary according to context. Students develop language proficiency in listening, speaking, reading, and writing interdependently, but at different rates and in different ways. And student development of academic language, academic content knowledge are interrelated processes. Students' development of social, instructional, and academic language a complex and long-term process is the foundation for their success in school. Students' access to instructional tasks requiring complex thinking is enhanced when linguistic complexity and instructional support match their level of language. I'm going to take a moment to share that with you. The WIDA English Language Development or English Language Proficiency Standards, and you'll notice the front page of this section is the 2012 amplification of the ELD standards, and really these were just released just yesterday, and WIDA talks about the 2012 standards as an enhancement, not a replacement of the 2007 standards. So for that reason, we've chosen to use the 2007 standards for this class also because of this really great resource guide that we're able to provide for you. And you'll note here you are able to access all of the performance definitions, the resource guide, the standards for each edition of the standards, and you're of course also able to share this with your colleagues at no cost. They're available, downloadable with no password needed. And what I want to show you on this page is the Virginia Department of Education has generously shared the instructional videos that they have created in relation to the ELD standards. I'm just going to go to this website real briefly so that you can see their website. When you click on the link, it takes you here. And under resources, you can see that he developed instructional videos on the different standards: social instructional language, language arts, math, science, social studies. And you'll be able to see real teachers showing how they use the standards in their classroom and some instructional materials too. So for those of you who are classroom teachers, you might be interested in seeing some modeling. That's a great place to go for it. Another thing I want to point out in terms of the English language development standards is that these new 2012 standards are
being rolled out in debut fashion, and you are even welcome and invited to go to Denver, Colorado, or any of these other sites, I suppose, in late September. And I know Lynn Hinch has a little bit more information about it, so I encourage you to check with her if that's something you're interested in going to learn more about the standards that are available there. And then lastly, on this front page, there's a really great 11-minute tutorial that'll tell you all about the changes within the writing competition. Encourage you to take those 7 pages to take a look at this tutorial and see. I know it's okay if I read some of this stuff, especially if you know.
Moving down this line here, there's a really great search the ELP standards link, and here if you say you've got a topic or a grade level, you can search by a bunch of different options. You can search by domain or standard. Of course, the more broad you leave your search, the more ability you'll catch things in your net. Let's just assume, say I'm doing a lesson on maps. Oh, it pulled up a whole bunch more the last time. I don't know why it only gave me 2 this time. Anyway, maybe maps is what it'll pull up. Oh, darn. Anyway, they're out there. There's a whole bunch of options out there based on grade level and even the language domain. So I encourage you to explore those. Also, you can find the can-do descriptors here linked as PDFs for free. They, of course, encourage you to buy them, but I want you to know for sure that your district test coordinator, all the district test coordinators in the state that had LEP students registered last year at the time of access adoption were sent one set of the can-do descriptors and the resource guide. So if you have colleagues that want to get their hands on a can-do descriptors as well, for example, you can refer them to these online versions or speak with your district test coordinator. They should have a set as well. And then these other 2 we don't do much with here in Montana, but I wanted to just point out for those of you who may use Spanish in your classroom and are working on Spanish academic language development, WIDA has also developed Spanish language arts standards. Might be an interesting tool for some of you. Moving on to the assessments that WIDA provides us, the Access for ELLs is the English language proficiency test that we've adopted for Montana last year. And you probably remember this, some of this from the training that you may have gone through last December. If you were administering the test, there are 3 levels of the test that are tiered for the different levels of proficiency. So obviously, if you're a tier A, you're only testing as high as the 3rd level of proficiency, for example. And one important resource I want to share with you are the sample letters to parents to accompany the parent report. Looks like there's a lot of different options here. Of course, I do notice that there isn't a German, however, for teachers on Hutterite colonies. And what's really great about WIDA is people share these resources. So these are letters that are submitted by teachers across a consortium or school districts. Share them. So if you are able to get a parent letter report translated into German, for example, you could share it with WIDA, and we would make it available to other states where there are Hutterite students, for example. And there is also good, I can see here, there's at least one for the sample score report. So these are blank reports that won't be filled out specific to the students, but they will be available for parents to kind of compare and contrast the English with the native language. So, anyhow, one other great resource here, and one that I think you'll need agency in this week, is the Interpreter Guide for Score Reports on the Access for ELLs. This is where you'll access it. And then, of course, sample items if you're interested in taking a look at what they offer sample items. Preparing your students. Another test that WIDA has just recently released is the alternate access for ELLs. As you can see, they're still even soliciting feedback on it. And the participation criteria for the alternate access would be students who are classified as ELL, they have a significant cognitive disability and are eligible for special education under IDEA, and that they are in a curriculum that's an alternate curriculum. So these would be students who are LEP students who also participate in the CRT alt, for example. And you can see there's instructional material here and manuals as well. This is a brand new first year for this test that WIDA is doing it, so I don't know a whole lot about it, but I encourage you, if you have these students, to um, explore that test as well. And then the last assessment that I'd like to show you today is the WAPT, and this is the screener test. This would be if, say, you get a new student who just moves into the country from another country and speaks another language, or a student who moves into your school and you want to find out what their academic language level is. Um, the thing about the WAPT is that it is only available via login of the district test coordinator. Uh, you'll need to speak with your district test coordinator in order to get access to these test forms. It's only available online, and like I said, only available with the district test coordinator's login. And we, of course, here at OPI can help you get that information if nothing else. WIDA also offers professional development, and they have research instruments that they're pursuing to help move the field forward. And here, of course, you can see other WIDA member states. What I want to show you now are all the consolidated materials on the download library. Um, and you can see here, really, it's a whole slew of links here, and usually they're all hidden. You have to unhide them. But one thing I do want to show you is this training toolkit with access for ELLs or the standards. These are basically, with your login, what you can do is you log in and you can see um, sample PowerPoint presentations. You can use, say, if you want to give a professional development at your school or for your district on the access for ELLs, um, or on the standards, for example. Oops, here you would find two sample PowerPoints that you could use and adapt to your needs at your school district level. These are, of course, password protected, or you do need to log into them, and they're proprietary. So we'd ask that you not post them on any public websites or anything. Of course, you have the can-do descriptors here, the interpretive guide, sample items, parent letter, and then on this side, I'm going to point out to you all of the keywords that are different resources that you can use to develop your program. Each is defined, so you have different types of topics that you can develop. So these are all available with your login details, and you can see different buttons on the top of the page, and then instruction and information available inside of